Hey everyone, welcome back. Tonight we're diving into an explainer on a truly harrowing true crime case sent in by a viewer from Ohio. We're looking at events that went down in a small town just outside Columbus back in 2011. Now the names have been changed, but the events, they're 100% real, and they form one of the most unsettling psychological puzzles we've ever covered.
All right, let's jump right in. But first, just a very quick trigger warning. The source material for this explainer gets incredibly dark and deals with abduction. So if you're sensitive to that kind of true crime content, it's completely okay to sit this one out. For everyone else, buckle up because the way this investigation unfolds is something you are not going to forget.
Part 1, the Ohio disappearances.
Detective Sarah Monroe had seen a lot in her 12 years on the force, right? But absolutely nothing prepared her for this. A 24-year-old woman, Emily Carter, just vanished from her apartment without a single sign of struggle. I mean, no forced entry, just gone. Her phone, her purse, literally everything was left behind untouched. But what escalated this to a potential serial abduction was the terrifying fact that Emily wasn't the first. Over the past 8 months, 3 other women had vanished from that exact same county, leaving their lives behind in the exact same sudden way. Take a look at this. These women had absolutely zero connections to one another. They ran in totally different circles. They didn't have family disputes, no massive deaths, and no obvious enemies to explain why they just go missing. From a profiling standpoint, this is an absolute nightmare. There is zero victim overlap. But when Sarah pulled up their photos side by side on the caseboard, something clicked. She realized all 4 women had one exact thing in common, and it wasn't where they worked or who they hung out with. It was purely visual. They all had the exact same shade of red hair. Suddenly, these random disappearances had a chilling, highly specific focus.
Part 2, the man in the background.
So, realizing they were dealing with a targeted predator, the investigation shifted gears. Digging through months of security footage from local coffee shops, gas stations, grocery stores, anywhere the victims were last seen, Sarah started scanning the crowds. And in every single clip, buried in the background, was the sky. Mid-40s, exceptionally quiet, and just completely unremarkable. He never actually approached them directly. He just watched, always perfectly timing his exit to tail them moments before they left. When Sarah brought this up to her captain, he was pretty skeptical. I mean, a guy just standing in a coffee shop isn't exactly a crime, right? But Sarah couldn't let it go. And unfortunately, her instincts were tragically validated when, just 3 days later, a 5th red-haired woman disappeared into thin air. Same silence, same lack of physical evidence. That very night, this guy's psychological game escalated. An anonymous letter arrived at the precinct with a photograph of Emily Carter inside. She was alive, tied to a chair, and staring directly into the camera in absolute terror. And handwritten on the back of the photo were 4 terrifying words: "You're getting warmer." He knew they were looking for him.
Part 3, the investigation.
Now the case is a ticking clock. Sarah became completely obsessed. She's cross-referencing DMV records and utility bills, looking for a highly specific ownership pattern to hunt down a ghost. She figured, okay, a predator like this needs absolute privacy. So she filtered for properties bought entirely in cash, with absolutely no mortgage on file, owned by individuals with a minimal digital footprint. And this brilliant investigative technique, it paid off immensely. It took the entire county's property list, we're talking thousands of homes, and narrowed it down to just 7 potential locations. 7 properties that fit the exact profile of someone trying to stay completely off the grid. Knowing they didn't have time to get warrants for all 7, Sarah and her partner actually went against protocol. They quietly checked the properties themselves, no backup. The first 5 were dead ends, but the 6th house, it looked completely abandoned. We're talking an overgrown yard, boarded up windows. But Sarah noticed a glaring inconsistency: fresh tire tracks leading to a detached garage out back. Part 4, the climax. So, moving over to that detached garage, they found a heavy metal door literally bolted to the floor. When she heard faint, muffled crying coming from the other side, Sarah called for backup and immediately drew her weapon. Opening that door revealed a narrow staircase leading deep underground. Down there, the walls were lined with dozens of photos of red-haired women, and right in the corner, Emily Carter was chained to a pipe, terrified but alive. As Sarah rushed across the room to free her, she heard footsteps on the stairs right behind her. The unremarkable man from all that security footage was standing in the doorway. But he didn't run,
he didn't even attack. He was totally calm, almost polite, like he was expecting her, and he quietly delivered this absolute chilling line. "You've found my collection. Most people never get this far."
Backup arrived seconds later and stormed the garage. The man didn't resist at all. But as they cuffed him and led him up those stairs, he smiled, looked directly at Detective Monroe, and dropped a horrifying bombshell. "There are 2 more houses you haven't checked yet." That single sentence sparked a massive, immediate search of the remaining properties tied to him. Emily Carter survived, but shockingly, she wasn't the only one. 3 other kidnapped women, the first 3 from the timeline we looked at earlier, were found alive in that exact same basement structure in another house. They were severely malnourished, but they were alive. However, tragically, this case did not end with a complete rescue. The 5th victim, the woman who was taken right in the middle of the investigation, she was never found. Despite tearing apart every single property and interrogating the suspect for months, her location remains a total mystery to this day. Part 5, the twist ending. So, who actually was this guy? How did he manage to pull off such a horrific, highly organized string of crimes right under the town's nose without raising a single alarm bell for years? Well, you'd probably expect a calculated, experienced criminal mastermind. But the reality? His name was Daniel Reeves, a former hardware store clerk with absolutely 0 criminal record, no red flags, and nothing that would have ever made law enforcement look twice at him. Reeves is now serving multiple life sentences, and during all of his interviews, he never fully explained the depths of his fixation on targeting women with that specific shade of red hair. He only offered this one deeply unsettling confession to the police. "She had red hair too, the first one I ever loved. I was just trying to bring her back." To this day, even after extensive background checks into his childhood and early adult life, literally no one knows who that first love actually was, or honestly, if she was even a real person and not just some delusion. It is a dark confession that leaves this massive, haunting question mark on the whole case. So, what do you think? Drop your theories in the comments below about who she might have been. And hey, if this explainer kept you up at night, be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the evidence. See you next time.